Hello, my name's Chris, this is Blue Kraken Gaming, and welcome back to Satisfactory, where if you are enjoying the series, I would ask that you please consider leaving a like, a comment, or a subscription. Any or all help the channel grow, and they help get it out in front of other people, so thank you very much to those of you that do that. Now, in our last episode, we started on our new heavy modular frame facility, and at the end of the episode, we were sorting out the train station so that we could get power over here and also have somewhere to, park. Now, off camera, all I've done is just laid down the train station after getting those motors, and I've connected in the back end. I've brought you guys back so that we can do the front end coming out of the station, because I figured that's going to be the more interesting sort of part of it. So my plan is quite literally to try and do a 90 curve to see if I can get that to come out quite neatly, but it's not going to. Why not? Oh, because you're coming halfway out. Okay. So I literally just need to try and make sure that that is as straight as possible. Okay, and then I want to try and get back on. That's turning too sharply, so if we come back over here, yeah, so this is where I'm then going to need to go. What on earth is that doing? Give me a piece of track to connect to. Cool, okay. Right, okay, so that's that bit done nice and easily. And then we want to bring it all the way down here. So you're going to be like there. So we probably want to go to here. And then bring you around like so. And then you're hooked in there. Cool. And then you're going to need an in. And we'll put an out there as well. Awesome. Cool. So this will be heavy modular frame factory. FF. There we go. Cool. So now we've got a way of getting backwards and forwards. And more importantly, no, that's completely the wrong bar. No, not the Windows key. I want the Alt key. Right, okay, there we go. So now we've got a power line, right, and you're underneath there. Okay, right, well let's... I'd really love to try and get this completely underneath, but that's going to be really awkward for me to try and see. How's that? Okay. That's not straight down. That looks pretty good there, though. That's now not clipping. Cool. God, I love holding the holograms there. That's so useful. Right, we can grab those hatch remains, and now we've got power. Now we can start getting some stuff like over here. So I'm kind of glad we've got that now, because that's going to make life much easier. So, coming back to our bit over here, where we've now got a smelting line. We're going to need to go up from here. And this is where we're going to need a ton of constructors. So, let's get our walls up. So we've got a bit of... Yep. And then... Cool. Get ourselves up here. We can lay out another floor. And like now with lifts, I'm not so worried about leaving room for staircases, because I can find somewhere where we can just put a lift down. So... We're then going to have our iron ingots coming in. So we are then going to have constructors. So we need 9.6. So that's a set of 10. Doing those. Right, there's our iron screws manifold. No, I need... Do I have a different irons? Bolted screw manifold? No, that's not it. I'm sure I had... There we go, cast screw manifold. No, that one uses aluminium as well. I thought I'd saved two accidentally and one of them didn't use aluminium. Blast, they do. Okay. That's really upsetting. Alright, what were we using for the other one then? I mean, nice, we've got a bolted frames manifold. Oh, it needs aluminium. Iron plates, no. What the heck is a... Oh, yeah, the pipe stacks. I forgot those, yeah. Right. So then. Iron wire? Must be iron wire. Okay, either way, that gives us a set of 8 that we can make use of. Okay. So we can shuffle this, give a bit of room. Whoa, did not mean to undershoot like that. Right, okay. So yeah, that's going to give us 8. And then we can just add the extra 2 on the end. There we go. And yeah, you're going to be fed in like that. And you guys are going to be making iron rods. There we go. Sometimes I jump too high with the what they called, the leg boosters. I've forgotten what they're called, but you know what I mean. Right, okay. But you only need to be set to 60%. Cool. Then you're going to go here and hook into these. Okay. So that's that done. So those are our iron rods. Then we need 8.64 making cast screws. Yeah. Okay. So those are kind of actually I'm just looking at the ordering of them. We need 2 sets of constructors to go into an assembler. The iron rods can kind of be done to themselves. Okay, that's fine. So if we did not mean to launch myself off the side there. Let's expand this out a bit. Right, and then you were out. What, you're going to be at 8 now. Cool. And then we can just try and fill in the middle. Even with that tree there, we'll probably have to get rid of that. Oh, I'm missing concrete. No! How am I missing concrete? Oh, that's so frustrating. We're still waiting for that to come through. Okay. Well then. That's going to be a bother. because I really want that last stripe done. Well, hang on, we could probably start trying to make a little bit of concrete locally over here, couldn't we? Because we've got... Oh, I pressed crouch instead of jump there. That's not going to help with me, my legs. Okay, so we can come over here. How much are you going to be pulling out? If we give you max, you're going to make 600 concrete a minute. Blimey, okay. Okay, well that should do. Right, there's that power line there. So if we grab you and we bring you over here, to there, and then feed you in, you're now going to start producing concrete for us. Now, if you're making 600 a minute, how much does that use? So if you're making concrete, that uses 45. So if we've got 600 divided by 45, it's 13. Okay. So that's going to make 13. So we'd need 13 of those. I mean, I'm tempted to just grab another one of these blueprints and not that one. Got the iron wire one. Because if I just find somewhere I can sneak this, like, I don't know, there, just run that in, because we'll take that down in a minute. That's not the end of the world. And then we set you guys to make concrete. Because we're going to need to make a permanent one anyway in a bit. But we haven't got the concrete to do it nicely at the moment, so let's just do it as a quick and dirty right now. Right, there we go. They're now all going to be making concrete for us. And then put that there. Right. And then if we straight that over there, and try and throw mergers on like that. There we go, that's that done. So that's now going to be filling that with concrete. And then if we come around this side, I think actually what we could probably do is if we bring this around as like a straight, curve that there. Default that. Put that there. Oh, that's a shame. Doesn't want to play ball. Okay. What happens if we straight that? Will that conveyor's too sharp? Where will you let me put it? There. Fine. Cool. And then that's belted in there. Good, 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 good. Like, I know this is horrible and this is a wild stopgap. But it'll get us some concrete for the meantime. But you're not... You're the wrong things, aren't you? There we go. Okay, cool. Right, so that's now just going to keep making concrete, which will be great for us. Nice. Okay, how much have we got? Beautiful. And then we can leave that to wear away while we continue with our construction. Okay. So we can come up here. Now we can fill that gap in. And I noticed there was one over here as well. Right, so let's get rid of that tree. I'm sure we're going to get a lovely effect at the moment where this is going to, you know, crack. Yep. Okay. Beautiful. Right. Then we need to come up. Okay. And then we want 8 and then 10. I say 8. We want 8.64. I'm going to place that there. And I think... Right. What are you guys making? You guys are making screws. Okay. Which means you can have one extra on the end. No, I want that to be straight. Yeah, and then like I say, we're making cast screws. We could make the steel screws, but I'm not going to. Right, okay. Right, so that's those all making the steel screws for us then. And then... Well, actually, yeah, that last one needs to be underclocked, doesn't it, to 64%. Okay. And then we need 10.8 to make... What's the next thing? I've just got to move it over. Iron plates. So we need 10.6 on iron plates. Okay. I don't really want to go out anymore, do I? Because we're just going to start massively overhanging a cliff. If I go out any further. We have got loads of room this way, though, at the moment. Because I think we are going to wind up going up. So, yeah, let's do this over here. Because we're going to also need to load balance some of these. Right, okay. So then we can come back here, grab that quick wire manifold. No, not the quick wire one, because that's not working. The iron wire one. Right. Right, and let's work out where we want this one. So this one we're going to have a bit of room before we feed into it. In fact, I think maybe we feed it like over here. You're going to tell me you can't nudge that far? No, beautiful. And then we can bring it back a little bit. Yeah, I think that's what we do there. But again, that's going to need 2 more on the end. Okay. Or is it? No, it needs 11. So we need to put 3 more on the end. Right, okay, which means we're going to have 1, 2, and 3. Cool. Right, okay. So then we're going to need our splitter there. Last one is going to go... Are you facing the wrong way? That splitter's facing the wrong way. Right. That's what we want. Right, there we go. So, that's going in there, that's going in there, that's going in there. No, not a curve, please. Nice and straight. And then you're going to feed in like that. Right, we then need more power. 1, 2, and then one there to feed that one. Okay, and you guys are making the plates. I think maybe we start trying to get some of this coming to life in a minute as well. Whoa! There we go. Okay. So that's all the plates then made. That's going to go into apparently 7.2 assemblers. Okay, right. Well, I think we start trying to set some of the iron going. You're going to need to go into there. You are going to need to go because we're feeding in on that, so we're going to go there and there. That gives me a fresh line there. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. I think now is the time to maybe try and get the lift going. Just got to work out where we're going to do that. Right. So now you can be 4s and you can run all the way along. Because we're probably going to need to try and hook up with all of that over there. Right. And then let's start getting the lift, shall we? So, personal elevator. Problem with it is we're going to need a hard edge for us to work with. There we go. Concrete. Okay. Because we did at some point want to start trying to get over to the train station. Because I kind of want this to be... I want the train station to be part of the structure almost. I don't want it to be completely separate and off to the side like we've had before. The challenge with that is we're going to have this at a different level. Okay. Because if I run that all the way out... Yeah, that's going to be too close then. No, not that. I want the glass frame foundation. Thank you. Come on. There we go. Right. So if we put you there... That's going to not fully line up with stuff, is it? Oh, wow. Yeah, we're not even completely on the same grid. Interesting, because I thought we were on the world grid, and yet we seem to be offset. Curious. Right, okay. I mean, that's going to be a problem for another time. But I think for now, what we want to do is we need to try and grab some of the power. So, from under there, I think we now try and bring it... that's going to be the catch, isn't it? let's come down here. If we bring that to there... okay, that brings it out. We can then put that there. Wow, okay, I really thought we were on the world grid, but it really doesn't look like we are on something. Something's come off, which is not what I expected. Okay. Okay, so now we've got power that we can try and run over here for the minute. You're going to do that, which hooks in all of that. Good, 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 good. What I'm actually then going to do is I'm going to grab the underside one. Yeah. And I want to hook it underneath because I want to stay under for this. I'm not going to worry about going around in a corner. Right, okay. Then we can just keep running this all the way down here. Right, we've not put any power lines in for any of this yet. Okay, so let's try and start getting that done. Cool, so that's going there. And this naturally is not going to run at full speed because we're not going to be able to handle all 600 of the outgoing ore, and we've then got to try and route this upstairs, and we've got to load balance it. Oh, there's just so much to try and do. Right, okay, and then we've got to get downstairs done. Okay, so naturally that's kind of load balanced into quarters at the moment. How can we make use of that for our splits? That we're going to need to... I'm going to need to have a look at. Okay. Do this. No, not that one. Switched off there. Because that goes there, and then that does the last two. Okay. So, now we need to get power for all of this. So what I'm thinking is, if we... What's above us there? Nothing we could use. Oh, hang on, no, we were bringing power along here, weren't we? Oh, we've already brought it all the way along. Aha! Okay. That's fine, because we can put you in here. We then grab this one, we can go immediately to the floor below, and because they're laid out in exactly the same way, we know where that will be. It'll be there, because that'll keep that tidy. And then if we enclose all of this instead of walling it there, that's okay, because we can run a pole here and then start powering that. We can power the other one as well, but that's not going to go anywhere, so I'm not too worried about that. How is our power at the moment? Hang on, why did that production and capacity drop? Ooh. We're going to have to go and have a quick look at the power plant, because that is a worry if that's happening. because that suggests that we have something happening with the power supply. Right. Okay, I'll meet you guys over there in a couple of moments. We're just going to run this that little bit longer this episode because I need to go and see what's going on there before I forget. West Coast Power and go. Right, I'll see you guys in a moment or two. Okay, so here we are bringing you guys back at exactly the same time I've just arrived. So let's go in and have a look. Now, I'm thinking, I know this plastic is backed up. That's fine, because it should all be getting then sunk. No. Why is that not sinking? There we go. Okay. Apparently I had that facing the wrong way round then. Okay, well that should hopefully clear that backlog out. Yeah, look, we've got a load of yellow lights there where that's all backed up. Yeah, this all needs to get cleared out, and in a hurry. I'm hoping that's what happens, which will let that start which will let it start handling that oil overflow again, or the heavy oil residue, which means that we'll have the fuel getting back upstairs. Because yeah, look, that's just continuing to decline. Because this has all got backed up. Yeah, let's see. That needs to all get processed. Yeah. So hopefully we'll start seeing all of these turning back on. Yeah, look, there's a load of yellow lights there. So those ones are working. These ones have slowed down because they're still trying to get their residue. Yeah, the resin, trying to get the resin out. Okay. These guys are processing it, hopefully. I mean, they look like they're back up to speed. Yeah, that is definitely going to have to try and clear that backlog. But that definitely seems like that's what it was. Big uptick in tokens, that's fine. What's going on with the power? The power is what's most important to me. Now it looks like it's starting to climb back up as things get sorted out. That's good. That saves that being a big problem. Okay, alright, well I'm going to wrap up the episode now. Turns out we had an emergency problem that we've had to fix. Yeah, let's see, this fuel. You're trying to handle your resin. Like, I'm almost tempted to just, for these ones at the moment, why were you not? Oh, because you're, that's a merger, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually tempted for the moment right now just to try and get that backlog sorted so that all of that can flow out at the moment. So we reduce what's going that way, but we can get that resin moving again at least, because that's going to be the big bit. But yeah, like I say, I might just let these lines flow for a little bit, clear themselves out, but I'm going to wrap up here and say, as usual, likes, comments, subscriptions, they will help the channel grow, they help get it out in front of other people, so thank you very much to those of you that do that. Thank you very much to my YouTube channel members, your support is very much appreciated, and please don't forget that as a supporter, you do gain access to the save files for any of the open world games I'm currently playing, along with any of the relevant blueprints, so you get to make use of what I've been using. You also get an early access to the videos, so you get to see everything before anyone else, and you get to tell me where I've gone wrong, which I always appreciate in Satisfactory, because I need you guys to keep me on my toes and tell me all the things I forget. So thank you all very much for doing that, and thank you all very much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you all next time.